Hi everyone, and welcome to Fables of the Fellowship. My name is Eric, and on this channel we will take a journey throughout the world of Arda, traversing all the ages of Middle-earth, as well as the times before and after what you may have seen in the films. So relax, grab a warm beverage, and join me as we sail through the genius of J.R.R. Tolkien.
You have my sword. And you have my bow.
And my axe.
So who is Gandalf? I imagine this seems like an odd question to you. Of course we know who Gandalf is, right? He's just the most popular character in the most popular fantasy legendarium ever created. Of course we know who he is. But why him? Where did he come from? Was he really that powerful? And ultimately, what traits did Gandalf possess that made him so integral in leading the free peoples of Middle-earth over Sauron? Before Gandalf was Gandalf, he was created as Olorin. Olorin lived in Valinor, and more precisely, Lorien, after the creation of the world Arda by Eru Ilúvatar, the One God. During his time in Valinor, Olorin served a few Valar, the godlike beings who watched over the world, as he was one of the Maya, the divine spirits created by the Valar as stewards of this magical realm. It was within the tranquil halls of Valinor that Olorin found solace and guidance from those he served. Among those was Nienna, the Vala of pity and compassion, who wept for the sorrows of the world. In her ethereal presence, Olorin learned the depth of empathy and the healing power of compassion. Her endless tears were a testament to the strength found in vulnerability. And this lesson would leave an indelible mark on Olorin's character. Last and most importantly was Manwë, the king of the Valar and lord of Valinor, who held supreme authority. His power extended to the very fabric of creation, shaping the destiny of Arda itself. It was under Manwë's watchful gaze that Olorin honed his wisdom. He learned that true leadership lay not in power, but in the humble willingness to serve others. But Olorin's destiny was not to serve in the tranquil realm of Valinor. Near the beginning of the Third Age in Middle-earth, the Valar became more concerned. A darkness was creeping its way deeper into the lands of Middle-earth. Sauron's power was growing, and the Valar chose to take action. They chose 5 Maya. Olorin became Gandalf the Grey. Curanir, or Curomo, became Saruman the White. Iwendo became Radagast the Brown. And last, Alatar and Palando journeyed into the east of Middle-earth. But little is known of their deeds as Blue Wizards. So that is for another tale. At first, Olorin felt fear and reluctance, for the task ahead was perilous, and he was not without doubt. He feared Sauron. But it was exactly this fear that confirmed Manwë's decision. He knew that fear would help Olorin see his mission through to the end no matter what. As such, he agreed to take the journey east. He would travel to Middle-earth with 4 others as the Istari, or wizards. Here they would use their power to guide the free peoples of Middle-earth away from the malice of the Dark Lord Sauron. With the Blue Wizards reaching Middle-earth much earlier than the others, we join Gandalf, Saruman, and Radagast during the year 1000 in the Third Age, when the world stood on the precipice of despair. Sauron has been building his power in Mordor. He may not yet have the Ring of Power or his physical form, but the threat is overwhelming. The 3 are welcomed by Círdan the Shipwright, wisest of the elves. During this meeting, Círdan entrusted Gandalf with Narya, the Ring of Fire. This was one of the 3 elven rings of power, so why give it away? It was because Círdan saw in Gandalf not only immense wisdom and power, but also a spirit untainted by ambition. He recognized Gandalf's selflessness and his unwavering dedication to the cause of good. It was these qualities that led Círdan to choose Gandalf as the bearer of Narya. Though not at this exact moment, the news does not sit well with Saruman, the leader of the Astari. A spark of jealousy is created. Differing from his counterparts, Gandalf's early years were spent wandering, learning the languages and customs of various races. His love for the elves and respect for the dwarves grew, but it was his fondness for hobbits, an unassuming race fond of peace and simple pleasures, that truly defined his approach. In these early centuries, Gandalf's influence was like a gentle wind, shaping events imperceptibly and preparing Middle-earth for the challenges to come. One of those earlier preparations would come in the form of the White Council, a congregation of the wisest and most powerful beings in Middle-earth, comprising Gandalf, Elrond, Galadriel, and Saruman. Gandalf's role in the White Council was not initially prominent, as he was not its leader. That role was held by Saruman. However, Gandalf's wisdom and insight made him an indispensable member. His suspicion and investigation of the necromancer in Dol Guldur were pivotal. While Saruman dismissed these concerns, Gandalf's persistence led to the revelation that the necromancer was none other than Sauron himself. It was Gandalf who advocated for action against Sauron, understanding that delay and indecision would only strengthen the Dark Lord's position. His influence was crucial in convincing the Council to finally assault Dol Guldur, forcing Sauron to reveal himself and retreat to Mordor. This action, though it did not eliminate Sauron, bought valuable time for the free peoples of Middle-earth to prepare for the war that was to come. Years later, Gandalf's role became pivotal in the quest of Thorin Oakenshield. Through Gandalf's guidance, the journey of Thorin's company became more than a reclaiming of lost gold. It was a journey of redemption, courage, and unity against the growing shadow in the east. Though it is not shown clearly in the movies, it is Gandalf who is entrusted with the key to Erebor from Thorin's father, King Thrain II. His dying wish is for Gandalf to help his son reclaim the Lonely Mountain. He hands Gandalf the key and a map, and through some luck and foresight, Gandalf meets with Thorin and Bree, and the rest is history. Of course, Bilbo proved crucial, as it was Bilbo's bravery and cunning that ultimately led to the dragon's downfall. But we all know who gave Bilbo that final nudge. As more years pass, we come to the climax of the Third Age. Sauron is amassing an army from multiple sources. He is ready to make his final push against all that is good in Middle-earth. There is only one piece missing. The One Ring has found its way to Frodo, and the Fellowship of the Ring is created. Gandalf's influence began with the very formation of the Fellowship at the Council of Elrond. His deep understanding of each member's strengths and weaknesses played a crucial role in their selection. He saw not only the might of Aragorn and Boromir, the resilience of Legolas and Gimli, but also the courage and purity of heart in the hobbits, Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin. Gandalf led not by imposing his will, but by kindling the strengths and virtues within each member, fostering a sense of unity and purpose in a group that might otherwise have been fragmented by their differences. Gandalf would lead the Fellowship for a time. From all of his travels, Gandalf knew the geography and lore of Middle-earth more than most, and this proved invaluable. As Gandalf the Grey, he led them away from Saruman's influence and treachery. In Moria, he led them safely through countless levels and tunnels stretching 40 miles across, and who knows how deep. The movies can only do so much, but the travels in Moria took 4 days. And if it wasn't enough for the Fellowship to fight off and escape from cave trolls and goblin archers, Gandalf takes on Durin's Bane, the Balrog in the depths of Moria. We all know what happens. They fight for days, they both perish, and Gandalf is reborn as Gandalf the White with a significant power-up. What most don't know is this. The Balrog was also a Maya tainted by Melkor. This specific Balrog was the sole reason for the downfall of the greatest city of dwarves ever created. Durin's Bane killed or displaced every dwarf that lived in Khazad-dûm. The number would have been staggering. What could normal men do in the face of this? This is why Gandalf was there. He was fated to slay Durin's Bane. It was only he that could have in this age. Even in his temporary absence, Gandalf's influence persisted. His teachings and principles continued to guide the members of the Fellowship. Upon his return as Gandalf the White, he took on a more active role in the war against Sauron, orchestrating key alliances and battles. His strategic acumen was evident in the rallying of forces at Helm's Deep and the march to Minas Tirith. He saved Faramir from his father's insanity, all while leading Gondor's army against the largest force Sauron could send at the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. It was Gandalf's idea to use Pippin's foolishness to their advantage as it tricked Sauron to worry about only what was in front of him. Never did he suspect Sam and Frodo's secret mission inside Mordor itself. Gandalf transcended the role of a guide to become a unifier of peoples and a driving force in the fight against tyranny. And so, after journeying for thousands of years, Gandalf succeeded in his mission. The Dark Lord was wholly destroyed with the One Ring. He had succeeded in his mission from the Valar. He could go home. In summary, Gandalf's influence was multifaceted. He was a wise counselor, a compassionate guardian, and a strategic leader. He instilled hope in the face of overwhelming despair, unity amidst diversity, and courage against insurmountable odds. Gandalf's legacy within the Fellowship, and indeed throughout Middle-earth, was his unwavering commitment to the cause of good. His belief in the potential of the ordinary to achieve the extraordinary, and his profound understanding of the intricacies of light and darkness that weave the tapestry of the world's fate. I'd love to know what you folks think. Was Gandalf the most important secondary protagonist in Lord of the Rings? Do you believe anyone else played a more pivotal role? Could he have been replaced by Glorfindel or Elrond? Both very powerful in their own right. Let me know in the comments. Alright, that was quite the adventure, and we've now docked in the Undying Lands. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to listen to my narration. This ship should set sail every week to 10 days, so don't hesitate to join me again. It is a privilege and honor to have you here. If you enjoyed your time, take a moment to subscribe to the channel or stop by my Patreon page. I am fairly new to all of this, but hopefully you can see a glimmer of something bigger.